We're recording. I think so. There it goes. Bing. Hi, guys. Welcome to Momentum Monday. Super excited to be on this call with all of you guys because we missed last week. Can you believe that? So my sincere apologies about last week. And I just really want to give a huge, unbelievable thank you to everybody. So everyone that's on this call right now, everyone that's on the group, everyone that reached out, everyone that stopped by the club, definitely had a little curveball in our life. And so I'm excited to talk about that. And I've had to learn and adapt, right? I've now got this whole new, I'll be honest with you guys, I had too many eggs yesterday and I started to get pain in my chest immediately. And I don't know now if that's more of like a mindset thing of like, oh my goodness, my gallbladder hates me and I can never eat anything bad again. Or if it's something I have to address, right? So by being accountable and I was able to share with my husband and look at him and be like, it's not something I want to do anymore, right? So, my gallbladder is not being friendly with me right now. So that was why I missed last week. And I just really want to thank all of you guys because then 3 days later, Facebook crashed and it was like a whirlwind of like all these circumstances of all of these things in the universe telling personally me, you know, you can't do this and it's too much and look at all these things that are going wrong. And, you know, I'll share with you guys, I had a full-blown anxiety attack on Wednesday when Facebook went down. I actually bumped into Samantha and Paul at the mall because it was my world, my perspective was I had posted I can share with you guys. I'm going to get real serious right now. I had posted that picture of be a powerful fucking woman. Right? Go and do this today. And then like 2 hours later, I couldn't post anything and I couldn't even log in. And at one point my passwords weren't working and it wouldn't let me change my password. And I'm like, I've been reported. I can't believe I swore on Facebook. What is going on? And then I thought someone had hacked me and I was having like a full blown, the world is out to get me. Everything is falling apart. And then my sister's like, oh yeah, Facebook's down. It was on the radio. I'm like, oh, put my phone aside and went on living. Right? But it was like, how quickly do we allow our world to implode upon itself because of the perspective we have? And so that's really where I want to talk today about resilience and what resilience means and how it really plays effect into our commitments, into our goals. So if you guys, I'd love for you guys to share in the chat. If you're running on a treadmill, please don't type. That's like driving a car. I don't want to see Janet disappear. Boom, right? So if you can type in the chat what resilience means to you. What does resilience mean to you? Where does resilience fit into your life? How does it fall into your circumstances? Have you even ever thought of the word resilience? So what does resilience mean to you? What do you feel it represents? So I'll give you guys a little minute to kind of share with that kind of stuff. Because I think resilience is something really, really important. It's really important breastfeeding. Yeah. The resilience with breastfeeding, right? Like, I'm going to do this. Good job. Go, mama. She's got he's 7 weeks now, correct? Yeah, 7-week-old, right? So it gets better. Resilience. So resilience, according to the dictionary, and Raina, you kind of hit it right on the head there. I'll read it off our little dictionary here, is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. Resilience is the ability of substance to object to spring back into shape and elasticity, landing on your feet, overcoming hurdles, right? Absolutely. I think resilience, you guys, is a really important thing because for me, resilience means that you allow yourself to adapt to the circumstances so that you can continue to be committed to your goals, right? I'm going to adapt. This is happening. This is happening. I have a birthday party, or maybe I have 3 this weekend. Does that mean that you should quit on your goals? No. I forgot my snacks and I ran out of the house and didn't have time or got really stressed out. Does that mean we should forget our goals? No. Resilience means it's like when you're faced with something, say something happens, say something like an incident with your kids, right? Or heck, you end up at the hospital at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Monday with a gallbladder that's blowing up. Okay, here's resilience. And do you know what I did before I walked out the door? I grabbed 2 shakes out of the cupboard. Grabbed 2 shakes and a protein bar because I had no idea. I had no idea what the next 24 hours was going to look like. I just knew that in that 30 seconds, I needed to have something with me because what is my other option at a hospital? A vending machine. A vending machine. And I can tell you at that moment, I was in so much pain, I didn't even want to drink water. But I knew that whatever I was going to take, I needed to be able to make sure it fit into making me at least feel better in the long run. And doing chips and snacks and pop and all those things wasn't going to make me feel better. Right? Resilience was the next day that I needed to, my alarm, you guys will tell you, I got home at 4:00 in the morning and I did have my alarm set. It went off at 5:30 and I basically looked at myself. I looked at the clock and I said, no, today I'm going to be okay. Today I'm going to adapt. Today our community is going to adapt and I'm going to close the club this morning. And I posted on Facebook and I closed the club. And I said, I'm sleeping. And I turned off the alarm and we stayed in bed. Me and Taylor stayed in bed till about 8:30. And then I got up and I had my shake and I took my time and I started drinking my water. And I bounced back, right? I got back up. We opened the club again at noon. I took it a little bit easier. I let my yoga instructor know, hey, my core is like so sensitive right now. I was legit in like spasms. If you've ever had a gallbladder issue, you can understand. I would rather have a child again. So for ladies that have gone through that experience, that's the level of pain it was, that I would rather have a baby again. Annabelle, that is your mother's shake. It's like I see her and she just ripped it right out of her hand. Okay. But that is resilience. Does that make sense, you guys? Like, can I get a thumbs up, a nod? Resilience means how many times do we find ourselves where a hiccup happened or something, we get disappointment, right? I was gonna get all this meal prepping done, and then I didn't get to the grocery store, or they ran out of turkey, so I couldn't get my turkey. So do we bounce back and pick a different protein, or we do throw in the towel for the week? We bounce back, right? And heck, even if you end up at a potluck, or you end up out and you had no choice, but you had to eat something that you didn't want to eat, or you ran out of water, or you didn't eat all that day, or you know what, for goodness sake, maybe you completely fell off the bandwagon for 48 hours. Does that mean that you just quit altogether, or do you bounce back? This is where I really want you guys to empower yourselves with what we're building as a lifestyle. I was sharing this with my daughter yesterday, and I was really proud in that moment to know that I could be that stand for her. So my 13-year-old daughter is going through 13-year-old daughter stuff, right? And bless the hearts of those around her. My mom gave her a whole bunch of old cooking books. One of those cooking books is the Dr. Bernstein diet. Okay, now I am a complete supporter of whatever works for people, but I also don't believe in high restrictive diets, because high restrictive diets don't teach us anything. High restrictive diets put you on a crazy high restrictive diet that you know if I follow the super restrictive diet, I'm going to get results. But what happens when I go back to living? Right? Yeah. We didn't learn anything. We learned to eat out of this little box and eat this little thing. And if I eat this little thing, I'm going to be okay. That's not living, you guys. That's not living at all. And so I talked to my daughter yesterday. I said, this book's got great recipes in it. It does. It's definitely got some great recipes. It had some beautiful lentil stuff. It had some, some of us maybe not so much, right? But there's healthy parts of all of it. But what I want you to learn and what I want you to empower yourself with is making decisions that are good for you. Good for you in the long run. Making decisions that empower yourself, that this is a choice I'm making because I want to feel good about myself. Not because I believe in restrictive diets, not because I don't think I can eat that. I want you to empower yourself and learn how to make smart decisions consistently. How to go on so I'll give you guys an example. I did a bikini competition a couple years ago. And in that bikini competition, it was awesome. It was fun. It was a crazy restricted diet that I definitely did not bounce back well from. I'll be flat out honest with you, because I came out of it thinking tomatoes were bad. Because my high restrictive diet, I wasn't allowed to eat tomatoes because they were too high sugar and there were too many carbs. I wasn't allowed to eat cucumbers. I wasn't allowed to, in the end, I was only allowed, it was asparagus. Asparagus was the last because asparagus was a diuretic as well. So in the end, I was allowed to eat white fish and asparagus. Who wants to eat white fish and asparagus for the rest of their life? Nobody, right? Legit, like 6 a.m, white fish and asparagus. That was my jam. It was wonderful, okay? Yeah, it was disgusting. And you know what? When I walked across that stage, do you think I was happy with how I looked? No, I wasn't. I wasn't. I was a size 4, and I still looked in the mirror and saw everything wrong that I would see on a normal day. because I didn't do it out of self-love. I did it because someone told me that if I follow step ABC, I'm going to have the perfect body. Well, step ABC isn't me. Step ABC isn't living. I want to enjoy, I want to have meals with my kids. I want to be able to make cupcakes with my daughter on the weekend and know that it's okay to have one and to share with others, and then to have my salad with dinner. That it's okay to move some of my nutrients around so that I can fit in different choices. And so I'll tell you guys, during that bikini competition, I actually qualified for a VIP experience at Extravaganza. So Extravaganza is our big, huge annual, like 25,000 people all come together in one space training. And I qualified VIP Platinum. And so the company took us all to this dock. They rented this whole pier in LA, and it was this unbelievable experience. And they had like different cultures, and they had a Japanese buffet over here, and they had a New Orleans buffet over here, and they had a Indian buffet over, like there were chefs cooking all of these little bite-sized food all in front of you everywhere. And so I sat there and watched my husband try every single burger and every single thing. And I would nibble a little bit of this because I wanted to stay on my plan. Right? I enjoyed myself, but I avoided the dessert table so long, by the time I finally got there, there was absolutely nothing left. And my first time ever qualifying for something like that, I didn't even experience it wholly because I was so terrified of my restricted diet and what it would do to my plan. Is that living? No, it's not. Do you know what is living? Going to that experience, enjoying myself, having the food that I want to have, and waking up the next day and going back to a nutrient-rich diet. That's living, right? We don't put on the 25 pounds in one day. We don't lose 25 pounds in one day. And guess what? It's not going to come back on in one meal. So if you're resilient and you can learn to adapt to the circumstances, to go with the flow and make sure that you stay committed to your goals at all times, do you think long-term you're going to find a great balance for yourself? Right? I love feeling good. I can tell you that inflamed gallbladder sucked. I have never felt so much bloat in my life. And now looking back, I'm like, Kate, maybe I actually do have gallbladder issues because a lot of other bloat that I've just beaten myself up for, right? Thinking that I made a bad choice, or I'm bloated, or I shouldn't have had pizza with the kids this weekend, you know, I've always blamed it on something like that instead of actually looking at the issues and going, okay, maybe pizza actually is a big problem for me if I do have gallbladder issues, right? However, before I got this identified, I would just beat myself up for it. And I would just feel bad, like I was a failure and I wasn't successful and I couldn't do this, and my body was angry with me. Right? Versus being like, I want to learn to live in balance. And I'm not saying pizza is something you should go to. So I'm not saying that that's right. But I've also learned that coming out of last week, that I also don't really enjoy those things as much as I think I used to. Right? We were talking about that this morning, right? A group of us were in the club and we were sharing because one of our lovely ladies is going to Mexico in a couple weeks. And the reality is, you guys, when you start making healthy decisions, yeah, it's fun to go and eat at the all-you-can-eat buffet for once or twice, but do you think you're still going to feel good on day 2, day 3, day 4? You're not. You're not. Reality is, I want you guys to build a lifestyle that when it comes to it, you don't want to eat that food. You don't want to make yourself feel like that. You enjoy the energy you get from nutrient-rich, right? It's not about not eating sauces. It's not about never eating cheese. It's not about the cholesterol and eggs are bad. It's about making smart choices of nutrient-rich foods consistently and building up the resilience to just bounce back. So how do you think we can build up resilience? What are a couple tips that you guys think you can build up resilience? If you want, throw them in the chat. If you haven't, come off mute. Grace, do you have an idea for resilience? She came off mute. Grace, you're off mute.
I'm on mute?
No, you're off mute. We can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to work this thing.
That's okay. You're doing good.
Well, now I'm on the spot. I don't know.
Do you think, so resilience, does resilience come when we make a meal plan? Yep.
Sure does.
Sure does. Does resilience come when we have accountability buddies?
Yep.
Does resilience come when we have people we can trust that we can talk to and say, hey, I'm having a bad day?
Yep. And in this group, it's great.
It is. And that's what I want you guys, meal prep. Meal prep builds resilience, right? Looking at your calendar in advance builds resilience because you give yourself, I always like to call them like willpower balloons, right? So you give yourself more of those balloons to lean on. They lift you up, they carry you through. So by setting yourself up in advance, you make it easier to bounce back. Because if something happens and you end up going out, boss shows up to take you out for lunch, right? They want to take you out for lunch, you're going out for steak, and are you going to say no? Well, no, it's an honor. You're going to take up the invite, you're going to go. You can still make a smart decision, but then guess what? You know what you're having at dinner at that night. Versus now maybe I went off plan of what I had. You just go right back on. If you have a plan, all you got to do is step back onto it. But when you don't have a plan and a circumstance gets thrown at you and you trip and now you're sitting on the ground going, I don't know what to do, and you have no plan to go to, where do you think you stay? In that space of, I don't know what to do and I can't do this, right? And so by having that plan, having that meal prep, having that accountability, having that challenge the next morning to plug back into, that's where you can easily build up the resilience. And I just want to really take a moment of gratitude for all of you guys for helping me have that kind of resilience. Because I didn't wallow for 3 days going, holy crap, I closed the club and I'm such a failure and my business is failing, all those wonderful little negative thoughts that roll through all of our heads. I get them too. I know I smile really big, but I promise I get them too. I had an incredible group of people that reached out to me and said, hey, are you okay? Hey, how are things going? How are you feeling? And I was able to say, you know what, I got back up. Let's do this. I'm not alone. I got people that care for me. I got people that would show up and drive me to the hospital if I needed to. And that, you guys, that's what I want every single one of you to find, is a community and a group and a willpower inside yourself of resilience that's stronger than anything and can overcome everything. Okay, so this week, focus on that bounce back. Bounce back. Back up. No more of these shouldas. Stop shitting all over yourself. I should have done this, or I should have done that, or I should have finished this, or I should have done more of that. Leave that all behind. That's going to be our next shirt. No more shitting on yourself. Just buzzers, eh? You're all going to make second looks everywhere. No more shitting on yourself. Okay? You are all powerful, empowered people that have choices in front of you every moment. And I want you to bounce back because you know you're worth it. I want you to bounce back because you know that you're valuable and you deserve it. So this week we didn't talk a lot about nutrition because nutrition comes when you choose for it to come. Okay? If you're still struggling with tracking, come reach out. If you need a little catch up, come reach out. If you need to post on your pages, come reach out. We're all in the group. Post on the page. Everyone's fantastic on there. As Raina said, it's a great group. Okay? Lots of tips and advice. Right? I need different snack ideas. I'm getting bored. Does anyone have any fun recipes? That's what resilience is. Don't fall off because you don't know where to go forward. Find someone that'll help you. So that's our little chat for the week. I do want to share a couple things that are upcoming. So as some of you may have noticed, we are getting fired up busy at the club, which is incredible, and I'm so excited that we're at this point of expansion. So on Wednesday night, we are having basically just like a business conversation. So for anyone that's kind of interested in what it looks like, what our behind the scenes looks like, what our operators, our partners, our ambassadors, our apprentices, basically the step of kind of working with the club, creating income in your life with the club atmosphere and our community. We are growing because we need to. There's a whole huge demand of people that are excited about what we're doing in our community. And heck, I'm taking tea to 60 teachers tomorrow. So we're going to be busy, and I'm looking for a wonderful, amazing to jump up. Nicole made it. Hey! I think she's on the TV. Hi, lady. So we are on Wednesday, you guys, Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the club. We will be going over basically the different roles that we have, the different positions that are available, and what that means. How do you get started? What does it look like? Where does it fit in? How does it fit your schedule? Because there's really, you guys, reality is what we do is what you want to make of it. When we envision the club, it was like, what do I want my day to look like? And that's what we created. And that's the same opportunity out of the same space for anybody that wants to take it. So we are looking for basically visionaries that have a strong work ethic. And if that's you and you love the space and you love the feel and you're looking for something different in your life, come check it out. That's all I'm asking. Come see what we're up to. Come see what's available. 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And then if you do RSVP, we're going to be testing out some shake flavors of the month for April. So you can come and give some feedback on there, what we should do. And then this Friday, we're doing a community event. So Heidi will Zoom you guys in and the boys because we miss you. But we're watching a movie at the club. So Friday night, bring your pajamas, bring your sleeping bags, bring your bean bags, bring all your comfy stuff. We've got the big TV up. We'll be watching Inside Out. So doors will open at 6. Movie will start around 6:30 so that everyone can get to bed early on time. Because no, I don't want 5-year-olds running around the club at 11 o'clock. That won't be fun. So we're going to do that this Friday, 6:30. There's no charge for it. I'm going to bring my air popper from home. So we're just having a fun family night. So you guys are more than welcome to come and join. And again, just building healthy communities, doing things together, building stronger relationships, people being with each other. I think that's something that our world really needs. And I'm so excited that our space can create such a positive place for that. So Friday at 6, we've got that special event going on. And that's kind of where we're at. So this week ahead, you guys, bounce back. Bounce back. Think of that bouncy ball. Just bounce back, right? It drops on it falls down, it gets right back up. Half the time higher, right? You drop a bouncy ball, it goes higher and it goes further every time it bounces and hits. So think of that resilience, think of who you are inside to that commitment. Adapt to the circumstances. Don't become the circumstances. Don't be ruled by the circumstances. Don't find yourself under circumstances. Adapt to them. You are empowered, you are worthy, and you totally, totally deserve it. So I'm excited to be a part of such an incredible tribe of wonderful people. I'm saying people because we do have men that are privately watching all of this, so they're playing along anyways. And thank you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep empowering yourself and those around you, and have a fantastic week. We'll see you on the page.
See you later.
Bye. We'll unmute you all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.